For thousands of years, the galaxy had been a place of constant meetings, alliances, and wars. Powerful civilizations spread across countless star systems, meeting regularly to decide how to share resources, keep peace, or sometimes prepare for battle. These meetings were grand events, held on massive space stations or planets at the center of the galaxy. Leaders from different species would gather, discuss, and plan the future together. But Earth had never been part of any of these meetings. No one knew exactly why. Some said Earth was too small and too young to matter. Others thought humans were primitive, stuck on their little blue planet. The galaxy's great powers had long ago written Earth off as a quiet, forgotten world at the edge of space. Humans themselves did not care much about these galactic politics. For centuries they had looked inward, focused on solving their own problems, building cities, advancing technology, and exploring their solar system. Many humans did not even believe in the existence of other intelligent life beyond their own planet. But things were changing. In a hidden place, deep beneath the surface of Earth, a large group of people worked quietly. They were scientists, engineers, and explorers, part of a secret project no one outside their circle knew about. They studied stars, built ships, and designed machines far beyond what the public saw. One of them was Dr. Elena Rivas, a brilliant astrophysicist with sharp eyes and a mind that never stopped thinking. She spent her days and nights watching the sky through massive telescopes and analyzing signals from space. For years she had been trying to understand why Earth was left out of the galactic meetings. "We have been alone for too long," Elena said one evening to her team, as they gathered in a large control room filled with glowing screens. "The galaxy is alive with activity, alliances, wars, discoveries, but we have missed every chance to be part of it. It's time to change that." Her words gave hope to the others. They all knew Earth was behind in many ways. Other civilizations had faster ships, stronger weapons, and deeper knowledge. But humans had something unique, the will to keep moving forward no matter what. Far away beyond the solar system, an alien scout ship drifted silently. It belonged to the Zirath Alliance, one of the oldest and most powerful groups in the galaxy. The Zirath had been watching Earth for some time, puzzled by its strange signals and sudden bursts of energy. Commander Kael, the Zirath officer in charge of the scout ship, stared at the data coming in from Earth. "What are they doing down there?" he wondered aloud, his voice calm but curious. "This planet was supposed to be quiet, but now it looks like they are building something big." His ship hovered near Earth's orbit, careful not to reveal itself. The Zirath were experts at observation, and they had learned to be patient. But what they saw now surprised them. Across Earth's orbit, dozens of new spacecraft appeared, sleek, dark, and powerful. Not just small research vessels, but warships. Hundreds of them. On Earth, Elena and her team watched as the ships took shape. "We've been preparing for a long time," she said. "No one expects us to be ready. But we are." The ships were unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. They were built using new materials designed for speed, defense, and strength. They could move silently through space and change formation quickly. Each ship carried weapons, but the technology behind them was secret. As the weeks passed, Earth's fleet grew. It was still small compared to the fleets of older powers, but it was impressive. And it was only the beginning. Meanwhile, news of Earth's activity began to spread quietly. A few traders, smugglers, and minor officials who had once dismissed Earth now looked with new eyes. "Maybe we were wrong," some whispered. But the great galactic leaders still did not believe it. They thought Earth was simply making noise, maybe trying to scare others. No one expected humans to be serious. On the surface of Earth, life went on mostly unchanged for most people. Cities buzzed with normal activity. People worked, went to school, laughed, and dreamed. But beneath the everyday, a new energy was growing, a sense of something big about to happen. Elena looked out of her window at the night sky, stars shining bright and endless. "We are ready," she said softly to herself. "It's time to show the galaxy what Earth can do." In the months to come, the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy was calm for a moment, but beneath that calm, tension grew like a storm waiting to break. All eyes, or at least many of them, had turned quietly toward Earth. For centuries, Earth had been silent, ignored by most, seen as a backwater world that had nothing to offer. Now that silence was over. It began with a single event that would change everything. Far beyond Earth's solar system, on many distant worlds, strange devices began to pick up a signal. It was unlike anything the galaxy had heard before. The signal was strong, clear, and impossible to ignore. The message came from Earth's orbit. Galactic leaders, military commanders, and intelligence agencies scrambled to analyze it. The signal was encrypted, a complex puzzle designed to keep out unwanted listeners. Only the most skilled code breakers could hope to understand it. For many, the message seemed like a warning. For others, it was a challenge. But no one could deny one simple fact. Earth was no longer hiding. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, a place filled with representatives from dozens of species, the room buzzed with tension. Hegra, the tall, slender ambassador from the Zorith Federation, leaned forward and spoke quietly. "This message from Earth," Hegra said. "It shows hundreds of warships, ships we have never seen before. They say nothing except that they are ready." Across the room, voices rose in confusion and concern. Some argued Earth was bluffing, trying to scare the galaxy with a display of power. Others feared Earth might be preparing for war. Council leader Tarnus raised his hand to quiet the room. "We must send a delegation," he said firmly. "We need answers. If Earth has built this fleet, we cannot ignore it." Meanwhile, back on Earth, Dr. Elena Rivas and her team watched the unfolding events with a mix of pride and concern. They had sent the signal intentionally. It was a message not just to the galaxy, but to all who doubted humanity's place among the stars. "We wanted to be noticed," Elena said during a briefing. "We wanted to say, we are here. We have been working, learning, and preparing. We want peace, but we are ready to defend ourselves." The ships in orbit were a marvel. They floated like dark jewels against the backdrop of stars, ready for any threat. Earth's fleet was designed not just for battle, but for survival. They were fast, strong, and equipped with technology that used energy in ways no one else had tried before. As the galactic powers debated their next moves, secret operatives tried to gather information about Earth's capabilities. Spy ships attempted to slip close to Earth's orbit, but the human fleet's defenses were too strong. Many of the spies returned with little more than questions and a growing respect for the planet's strength. One such operative was Jax of the Vrel, a species known for their sharp minds and swift ships. Jax had spent months watching Earth's activities, waiting for a chance to learn more. "What makes humans so different?" Jax wondered as he reported back to his superiors. "Their ships are fast, but not the fastest. Their weapons are strong, but not the strongest. Yet their fleet moves with purpose, as if they have a secret we do not know." Back on Earth, Elena's team worked around the clock. The fleet was more than just warships. It was a symbol of hope and warning. It told the galaxy that humans had changed. No longer isolated, no longer weak. Earth was ready to stand tall among the stars. As the signal continued to broadcast, more and more species took notice. Traders stopped ignoring Earth's spaceports. Scientists looked at human technology with new interest. Diplomats prepared to meet a planet that many had once ignored, but not everyone welcomed Earth's arrival. Some of the older, powerful empires saw Earth's sudden rise as a threat. They feared that the newcomers would upset the balance of power and bring chaos to the fragile peace. In the dark halls of the Velkar Empire, General Koran stared at a hologram of Earth's fleet. His voice was low, but filled with warning. "We cannot allow this planet to grow so powerful. They have no right to take their place among us without proving their loyalty." His advisors nodded, knowing that a decision would soon be made, either to confront Earth or to try to negotiate from a position of strength. On Earth, leaders prepared for all possibilities. They knew the galaxy could react with fear or hostility, but they were ready. Elena stood before a group of young officers in a large training room. "We do not seek war," she told them, her voice steady. "But we will fight if we must. Our strength is not just in our weapons, but in our courage, our unity, and our hope for a better future." The officers listened, their faces serious but determined. Outside the training room, families watched the stars. Children dreamed of exploring the galaxy. The people of Earth felt a new sense of pride. They were no longer alone. Their world was a part of something greater. Then one quiet night, the signal changed. It began to show images, stars, galaxies, and distant worlds. Then a voice speaking in many languages at once echoed through the broadcasts. "People of the galaxy," the message said, "we are Earth. We have listened to your meetings from afar. We have watched your wars and your alliances. We were silent, but not weak. Now we stand ready to join you, not as servants but as equals. We offer peace, we ask for respect, and we will defend our home with all our might." The message was simple, clear, and powerful. The galaxy was no longer able to ignore Earth. The galaxy was quiet, but the air was heavy with expectation. The message from Earth had spread like wildfire through star systems near and far. Some races were shocked, some excited, and others wary. The great galactic powers no longer saw Earth as a forgotten world, but as a rising star demanding attention. On Earth, in a large command center beneath the surface, Dr. Elena Rivas and the human leaders gathered to plan their next steps. The 1,000 warships in orbit were ready, but they knew that showing force was only the beginning. The real challenge was to prove that humanity was serious, smart, resourceful, and capable of standing among the galaxy's greatest. General Marcus Hale, a seasoned military leader with calm eyes and steady hands, stood beside Elena. "We need to be careful," he said. "Showing power might scare some, but it might also unite others. We can't just wait for the galaxy to react. We must act." Elena nodded. "That is why we need a plan that shows who we are. Not just warriors, but thinkers, builders, and friends. We have waited in the shadows long enough." Their plan was bold. Earth would send a fleet of ships to the nearest galactic hub, not as invaders, but as guests. They would make their presence known, show their technology, and begin talks of cooperation. It was a gamble, but one they believed in. The fleet's commander, Captain Lena Royce, was young but fierce. She had trained for years knowing this moment might come. Now, standing on the bridge of the flagship Unity, she looked at her crew. "Today, we sail not just as defenders of Earth," she said, her voice steady. "We sail as ambassadors of a new hope. The galaxy will see what humanity can offer." The Unity led the fleet out of Earth's orbit. The 1,000 warships moved in perfect formation, sleek and silent against the dark canvas of space. As they left the solar system, messages poured in from curious observers. In the galactic hub of Zarion, where many species gathered to trade and talk, news of Earth's approach caused a stir. The Council had sent envoys to meet the newcomers, but no one was sure what to expect. When the Earth fleet entered Zarion's orbit, the massive space station's alarms buzzed with activity. Docking bays cleared, and security forces watched. Carefully, from the Unity, Captain Lena sent a clear message. "We come in peace, seeking dialogue and cooperation." For a moment, silence filled the space between worlds. Then, representatives from many species approached. Among them was Ambassador Hagra of the Zorith Federation, who had spoken about Earth before. She was calm but cautious. On the station, a formal meeting was held. Humans and aliens faced each other for the first time in centuries. Elena watched the live feed from Earth. "This is history," she said quietly. "We are part of the galaxy now." The talks began slowly. Some questioned Earth's motives. Others admired the human fleet's design and technology. Still, many were curious about what humans wanted. General Hale spoke with honesty and strength. "We did not come to conquer or demand. We came to join, to share knowledge, to learn, and to protect our home together." Slowly, some doubts began to fade. Many species started to see Earth not as a threat, but as an ally with great potential. But not everyone was convinced. In the shadows of Zerion, some groups whispered of danger. The Velkar Empire, still wary of Earth, sent secret messages to its commanders. "Watch the humans," they said. "They may hide more than they show." Despite the challenges, Earth's leaders stayed focused. They hosted demonstrations of their technology, from energy shields to new propulsion systems. Scientists exchanged ideas, and diplomats talked of trade routes and joint research. Captain Lena's fleet stood ready in orbit, not as a threat, but as protection. They knew that trust would take time to build. Back on Earth, the people watched the news with pride. Children drew pictures of starships. Teachers spoke of new stars and new friends. The planet had changed, and so had the dreams of its people. Elena met with young engineers. "This is just the beginning," she told them. "We must keep working, keep learning. The galaxy is full of wonders and challenges." In the weeks that followed, small alliances began to form. Traders from different worlds sought Earth's markets. Scientists planned joint missions, and for the first time humans believed they were part of something larger. Still, Elena knew the road ahead would not be easy. Some powers would try to block Earth's rise. Others would test the fleet's strength. But humanity was ready. With courage, wisdom, and hope, they had made their move. The human gambit had begun, and the galaxy was watching. The galaxy was watching Earth. After the bold arrival of the 1,000-ship fleet and the peaceful talks at Zerion, many were curious. Some were hopeful, others doubtful. But no one could ignore that Earth was now part of galactic affairs. And, with new friends came new challenges. Captain Lena Royce stood on the bridge of the Unity looking out at the stars. The fleet remained in orbit near Zerion, ready for any situation. She knew the talks were just the first step. The real test would come when words met action. "Captain, sensors are picking up several unknown ships approaching," reported Lieutenant Sari, her voice calm but alert. Lena nodded. "Identify them." The screen showed a group of ships bearing the markings of the Velkar Empire, the very power that had warned against Earth's rise. Their fleet was smaller than Earth's, but well known for its skill and tactics. "Why are they here now?" Lena wondered aloud. The Velkar ships did not respond to hails. Instead, they moved closer, scanning the human fleet carefully. It was clear they wanted to test Earth's defenses. Back at the Galactic Council, the news of this encounter spread quickly. Some hoped it was a challenge that would bring Earth and the Velkar to understanding. Others feared it could spark conflict. On Disu, Earth, Elena Rivas received the reports with concern. She understood that this moment was important. Earth had to show it was strong, but also wise. "We do not seek war," Elena told the leaders in the command center. "But we will protect ourselves. This is the test of fire, the moment we prove who we are." Captain Lena prepared the fleet. The 1,000 warships shifted formations, creating an impressive barrier around the Unity. Each ship activated shields and weapons systems, but with orders to avoid aggression unless attacked. The Velkar commander, General Koran, watched the human fleet carefully. "They are stronger than we thought," he said to his officers, "but can they back up their words?" Suddenly, one of the Velkar ships fired a warning shot, a bright pulse of energy that passed harmlessly near the humans but sent a clear message. "We are watching." Captain Lena responded immediately, sending a calm but firm message. "We seek peace. Lower your weapons." The Velkar fleet hesitated. After a tense moment, they moved back slightly but did not leave. Over the next days, both sides watched each other. No shots were fired, but the tension was high. The Velkar wanted to see if Earth was ready for real space challenges. Meanwhile, other galactic powers began to pay attention. Traders and diplomats gathered around Zerion discussing the standoff. Could Earth hold its ground? Could humans face the galaxy's tests? Elena worked with her team to send scientific data and peaceful messages to the Velkar, hoping to build trust. "We must show we are not a threat," she said. "But we will not back down." On board the Unity, Captain Lena held briefings with her officers. "This is a moment that will define us," she said. "Our strength is not just in weapons but in our discipline and respect. We will not give our enemies a reason to doubt us." In one unexpected move, Earth sent a small group of diplomats in a shuttle to meet with the Velkar fleet. It was risky, but necessary. Ambassador Kira, a calm and thoughtful woman, led the mission. As their shuttle approached the Velkar flagship, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. The Velkar commander met them in the docking bay. His expression was serious but respectful. "Why do you come?" he asked. "To talk," Kira replied simply. "To show that Earth wants peace, not war." The two sides spoke for hours. Kira explained humanity's history, their reasons for building the fleet, and their hopes for cooperation. General Koran listened, his stern face softening slightly. "You have strength, and you have courage," he said. "That is rare." After the talks, the Velkar agreed to withdraw their fleet for now. It was a small victory, but a meaningful one. Back on Earth, the people celebrated quietly. The test had not been easy, but humans had shown they could face danger without fear and without aggression. Yet Elena knew the journey was far from over. The galaxy was a complex place, full of old rivalries and new challenges. Some would continue to doubt Earth. Others would try to bring them down. But humanity had passed the first real test. They had stood their ground and earned respect. In the coming weeks, Earth's fleet remained ready, their ships patrolling the edges of human space and beyond. Scientists worked with alien researchers, learning new technologies and sharing ideas. Trade routes opened slowly, and diplomatic ties strengthened. On the bridge of the Unity, Captain Lena looked toward the stars with hope. "This is just the beginning," she said. "The real adventure starts now." And for the first time in its long history, Earth was ready to face the galaxy as an equal. The galaxy was changing, and Earth was at the center of that change. After the 1,000 warships appeared in orbit and the peaceful yet firm arrival at Zarion, humans had made their presence known. The old powers could no longer ignore Earth's strength and spirit. Back on Earth, the world had come together as never before. People everywhere watched the stars with hope. They knew that their planet was now part of something larger, a community of worlds filled with possibilities and challenges. Dr. Elena Rivas stood once again in the command center. Around her, young engineers, scientists, and leaders worked side by side, planning missions and building new ships. The 1,000-ship fleet was no longer just a symbol, it was the foundation for the future. Elena looked at the glowing screens, showing maps of the galaxy and ships traveling between stars. "We have built more than ships," she said to a small group of visitors. "We have built a future where Earth belongs among the stars." Across the galaxy, many worlds began to welcome Earth's new role. The Galactic Council had invited humans to join formally, recognizing them as a new member with full rights and responsibilities. It was a moment of pride and accomplishment. Ambassador Hegra from the Zorith Federation spoke at the council meeting. "Earth has shown courage, wisdom, and respect. They have passed the tests of fire and diplomacy. Today we welcome them as equals." The applause was loud, filled with hope and respect. But with new power came new responsibilities. Earth's leaders knew that they had to work hard to keep peace and build trust. General Marcus Hale stood before a group of officers and diplomats. "We are no longer the quiet planet," he said. "We have a duty to protect not just our home, but also the galaxy's future. We will work with others, not against them." Captain Lena Royce, still commanding the fleet's flagship, prepared for new missions, exploration, rescue, and joint defense. "We will be ready for whatever comes," she said to her crew, "because that is what it means to be part of the galaxy." The new alliances brought exciting opportunities. Scientists from different worlds worked together to explore distant stars and solve mysteries of space. Trade routes expanded, bringing new goods and ideas to Earth's markets. Cultural exchanges helped different species understand one another better. On Earth, Children learned about distant galaxies in schools. Families dreamed of traveling to new worlds. The old stories of isolation were replaced with stories of hope and unity. But challenges remained. Some powers still watched Earth with caution. The Velkar Empire, though less hostile, kept a close eye. Other groups, suspicious of any change, tried to slow Earth's rise. Yet humanity had learned from its past. Unity, courage, and openness could overcome fear. One day, a new threat appeared on the edge of known space. A dark cloud of energy moved toward several star systems, threatening destruction. The Galactic Council called on all members to respond. Earth's fleet joined the alliance. Captain Lena's ships led the way, using new technologies developed, with alien partners. Together they worked to understand and stop the threat. The battle was not one of weapons alone, but of teamwork and trust. Scientists found ways to disperse the energy cloud, while diplomats coordinated efforts between many species. When the danger passed, the galaxy celebrated a victory of unity. Elena watched the news with a smile. "This is what we hoped for," she said. "A galaxy where we protect each other, where strength comes with respect." At a gala held on a space station orbiting a beautiful blue planet, humans and aliens celebrated together. Ambassador Hegra raised a glass and said, "To Earth, the quiet planet that changed the galaxy." Captain Lena and General Hale stood nearby, proud but humble. The galaxy had found a new order, built not on fear or domination, but on cooperation and respect. Earth had missed every galaxy meeting for centuries, but now it was at the center of a new future. As stars shone bright outside the windows, Elena knew the journey was far from over. But for the first time, humanity stood ready, not just to survive, but to thrive. The story of Earth was no longer one of silence and isolation. It was a story of hope, courage, and a new beginning.